Howdy everyone. Alright, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I am not going to talk about anything related to building an RV. Instead, I'm going to talk a little bit about my avionics package, which is what you see here. But before we get into that, I want to give a shout out to Wes. Wes is building an RV7 and he had located my YouTube channel, and he's been emailing me questions, and we've been talking back and forth through email about building airplanes, and I've been trying to help him with his questions and things like that. So yesterday I get an email from Wes, and a huge surprise to me was he was wanting to make a donation to my channel and just kind of make a donation to help me get these videos produced and made, and just kind of play a role in keeping this whole thing going. So I was very appreciative of that. He asked if he can pay me through Venmo, which I've heard of, but I don't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. I still don't know a whole lot about it, but I did open up a Venmo account, and sure enough, almost instantly after I had my account set up, he had made a donation. So Wes, thank you, sir. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so what I have here is my entire avionics package so far. I don't believe I have everything that I need. I want to fly. I want to be able to fly full IFR, so I'm trying to put together an avionics package that's IFR ready, if you will. I'm going to go over this kind of at a high level really quick, and then I'll grab the camera and I'll come over with the camera, and we'll talk about some of this stuff in more detail. But first, let me just give you an overview of what's here on the table. All right. First of all, I have the Vertical Power VPX Pro. They also sell a VPX Sport. The difference between the two is that the VPX Pro has two power supplies. So you have two internal power supplies in the unit, and you can run them independently. You can use them at one as a backup and have redundancy, things of that nature. That's with the Pro. This is the Pro. Along with the Pro, along with this particular unit, you get what you see here. Now, I don't recall, because I ordered a lot of this stuff over time in pieces parts, so my memory's not all that clear. But I believe I bought the unit, which came with, I think, the patch cable and the mounting hardware, and then this stuff down here was an additional kit. I bought the wiring kit for this, which is an extra charge. We'll get into that later. We'll get into more details of all of this here shortly. This is also from Vertical Power. This is their PPS, their primary power system. This black box is the main large power distribution component, if you will. So it's got a connection for your battery, the alternator, your main bus out, and your starter. This provides all the circuitry for those items. Again, you connect your battery directly to it, and then it distributes power to your alternator, main bus, and your starter. And then it's got this port here, which is a multi-pin connector, which communicates with your VPX Pro or your VPX Sport. And then again, I bought the wiring package, which is what you see here. Next up, I've got my SafeFly GPS and its antenna and its cable. I've got my Echo UAT ADS-B, and it came with an antenna and its wiring harness. This is one of my favorite units just because it's so small and it looks cool. This is my Trig TT22. This is my ADS, or not my ADS, wow. This is my mode, what is it, mode B, I believe, transponder. And it came just as you see it with the remote unit and the mounting tray. And that's it. So I had to buy a transponder antenna for it. We'll get into that in a minute. This is my GRT Horizon 10.1 EFIS. This is the latest and greatest from GRT. This particular unit, I added 2 upgrades. They're software upgrades, but you cannot install the software upgrades after the unit has been shipped. In other words, the software updates have to be done by the manufacturer. So if you buy the unit, you get it at your house, you put it in the airplane, and you decide you want these 2 particular upgrades, you'd have to take the unit back out, ship it back to GRT so they can do the installation. You can't do the upgrades over the computer like you do some other upgrades. The 2 upgrades are, 1, I got the touchscreen option upgrade, and I got the ILS plates upgrade. Is that right? The ILS plates? I forget exactly what the terminology is. The ILS approach plates, that's what it is. So touchscreen option has to be installed at the factory, and the ILS approach plate option also installed at the factory. This unit has both of those upgrades. Wiring harnesses, USB, came as a group, as a package. This is another GRT unit. This is my remote EIS, which is the Engine Information System. Again, a remote unit. I did not get a separate display to mount on the instrument panel. This is a remote unit that displays everything through the EFIS. So I bought the complete package with the remote unit. This package is for the 4-cylinder light combing. But when you order the package, you have a few options as far as some of the sensors and things like that, which I'll get into in a moment. But this is what came with this remote unit. So that's what I have so far. I've got my main power, my distribution power for all the avionics, the full-on EFIS, GPS, ADS-B, Mode B, I think that's correct, Mode B transponder, and then my engine management stuff. I will be buying a Trig, I believe it's a TY91, that's the Trig comm radio. It looks just like this, it's about the same size. And again, that's going to be a remote unit. There will not be an individual head unit mounted in the instrument panel. It's just going to be a remote unit that works directly through the EFIS. And that will be coming at some point. Other than that, I'm not really sure exactly what else I need. I've not made up my mind as far as backup systems for redundancy. So if you guys can give me a shout out, I'd appreciate it. Send me an email or make a comment on the video. I personally prefer email, but if you guys want to make your suggestions in the comments, that's perfectly fine. But if you've got some guidance, some suggestions, if you know of other required instrumentation, avionics to do IFR, I'd appreciate the heads up, because I'm just starting to get my head around all this stuff, and I don't know that I've got everything that I absolutely have to have. And I'd like to know what you guys think as far as backup systems and redundancy, things of that nature. All right, so let me grab the camera. I'm going to grab the camera, and we'll do a little more in-depth piece-by-piece walk around with all this stuff. All right, so stand by.